Hello dear students, I'm Pratima. I welcome you all to this video. So today we'll solve 4 case study questions for third sample paper circulated in Kendra Vidyalayas. It is meant for KVs, Navodaya Vidyalayas and other CBSE school students. So have a look. If you can solve the question, do yourself and check the answer. If you can't, no problem. I'm there to help you. So this is your instructions of I'm doing or I'm solving part A. Second part, it is 4 questions of case study. Each case study has 5 case-based subparts. An examinee has to attempt any 4 out of 5 subparts. So here, all the 4 questions are compulsory, but 4 parts of each question you have to admit. You know it. So coming to question number 1. So these questions have a relation within the subparts. So whenever question is given, before 15 minutes time is given to you to read the question paper. So read questions very seriously. So here question is, Ladli scheme introduced by Delhi government in March 2008 aims at enhancing the social and economic status of the girl child by depositing 1 lakh in a bank account. By the time she attains the age of 18, the scheme helps to make women strong and will empower a girl child. Read the above bar graph and answer the following questions. First is part A, which statement is incorrect and about the bar graph. So emphasize this word. You have to identify incorrect, not the correct. First is a bar graph is a pictorial representation of data. A bar graph can be vertical or horizontal. Heights of the bar graph depend on the value of the variable. There are no gaps between the consecutive rectangles. So which part is incorrect? Is one incorrect or correct? Yes, a bar graph is a pictorial representation of data. It is correct, but we will mark only incorrect. A bar graph can be vertical or horizontal. This is also correct. Heights of the bar graph depend on the value of the variable. This is also correct. There are no gap between the consecutive vectors. So this will be the answer. The answer of this question is this. So there is no gap between the consecutive rectangles. It is not correct for the bar graph. Bar graph, there is always a gap between the two columns. So fourth is the answer. It is an incorrect statement for but answer of part A. Coming to B part, in which year the budget was minimum? 2008 to 9, 2007 to 8, 2010 to 11, 2009 to 10. You will observe the bar graph and you will take the height of the bar and see where it is minimum. So it is very clear, 2007 to 8 it is minimum. So the answer of C part will be the, very sorry. This will be your, we are doing B part. So where is 2007 to 8? So this is in second part, it is, this is the answer. 2007 to 8, it is very less. It will be only 5.4. Now coming to C part, in which year the budget was maximum? Maximum means you will see the bar where it is the tallest one. So it is tallest one in year 2010 to 11. So fourth part is the answer of C. So you can observe that there is no calculation, only we are identifying from the graph. What was the budget in 2010 to 11? 2010 to 11, it was how much? It was your 10300. Where is the answer? What the budget in 2010 to 11? It will be 90961300. Yes, we have got 1300. So second part is the answer. Part E. What is the difference of the budget in the year 2008 to 9 and 9 to 10? 2006 to 9 is here. So 2008 to 9 is also yes, same 9060. And when we say 9 to 10, 9 to 10 is this one. So it will be 9160. So what is the difference? It will be 9160 subtraction 9060. How much? It will be 100 million. What is the answer? Answer is part 1. So I hope you have done. If possible, you can read the question twice. Next question. Aditya purchased 2 type of chocolate, A and B, at the rate rupees X and rupees Y respectively. The total amount spent is rupees 7. After reaching home, he forms a linear equation in 2 variables for 2 types of chocolate. He prepares a table and a graph for the linear equation as shown in the adjoining figure. So he bought 2 type of chocolate A and B. One is rupees X, one is rupees Y. When he is spending, he is getting total is 7. Now let us read the question. How to represent the above situation in linear equations in 2 variables? Whether 2x plus y is equal to 7 or x is equal to 7 or x plus y is equal to 7 or y is equal to 7. Second is B. If the cost of chocolate is A is 5, find the cost of chocolate B. Which of the following point lies on x plus y is equal to 7? 3, 4, 5, 4, 1, 5. The point where line x plus y 7 intersect y axis is 0, 4, 0, 6, 7, 0, 0, 7. For what value of k, x is equal to 2, y is equal to minus 1, solution is x plus 3y minus 1 is equal to 0. As I told you, will read all the parts. Sometimes you will get a clue for this answer. You see the part C. This is the graph of x plus y is equal to 7. So this is our equation for question part A. Because the one chocolate is x, other is y, then total money is 7. So it gives you x plus y is equal to 7. So this is the equation. Where is the answer? Answer is your third part is the answer for A. For A, answer is 3. Now coming to part B. The cost of chocolate A is 5. Total is 7. If A is 5, you can say what is B? B is your 2. So what is the answer of B part? It will be your, where is 2? Fourth part. So fourth is the answer. So when you write the answer, you can write the part as well as the whole sentence. Which of the following point lie on x plus y is equal to 7? Now to test, you will put x and y both in this equation. I'm first testing your part 1. If I'll put 3 in place of x, this is your x, this is your y. If it is not satisfying, you will go for this. Again put x and y. Again put x and y. Again put x and y. But luckily, you are getting fast as the answer. Why? 3 plus 4 makes you 7. So for C, part 1 is answer. That will be 3, 4. Now coming to D part, the point where x plus y intersect y axis. See the graph and observe the y axis. So keep your eye on where the line intersecting y axis. It is clear, it is 0, 7. So what is the point? Point is 0, 7. If the question would be where it will be cut x axis, the point will be 7, 0. So for D part, what is the answer? For D part, I am writing here. For D part, your answer is 0, 7. That is your fourth part. Now coming to part E, for what value of k x is equal to 2, y is equal to minus 1 is a solution of this. Of course, this is a question to think of. So here what we'll do, x is equal to 2, you will put x is equal to 2 in this equation, and you will put y is equal to minus 1 in this equation, and your separate your k. That will give you the value of k. So in place of x, I'll put 2, plus in place of y, I'll put 3. So 3 multiplies by y, that will be minus 1, minus k is equal to 0. Now just simplify. 2, this gives you negative 3, minus k is equal to 0. Now shift k to right side, it will be positive. So left side will be minus 1 and right side will be k. So what is the value of k? K is equal to minus 1. So where is the answer? Answer is part 3. So for E part, the answer is 3, k is equal to minus 1. Question number 19. 5 friends A, B, C, D, E are standing in the corner of P, Q, R, S, T, respectively as shown in the figure. So that PS is equal to ST is equal to PT. Again, QS is equal to SR is equal to QR. Also, PQS, I'm marking with the red color, that is also a equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. Now, answer the following questions. How many equal sides are there in an equilateral triangle? 2, 3, 0, 4. How many equilateral triangles are there in this figure? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which statement is incorrect for this given figure? T is equal to R, QPT is equal to 120 degree. It has a scalene triangle. PT is equal to QS. Name the exam by which triangle PTS and triangle QRS are not congruent. SS, SSS, RHS, none of these. E is PT is equal to 2x plus 1, QR is equal to 3 minus 2y. Then find the relation between x and y. Whether x plus y is equal to 1 or x is equal to y or 2x is equal to y or x by y is equal to 2. So let us proceed one by one. First is given PT, PS, these two are equal. And again given these three are equal. Again given these three are equal. So all are equal to, all the sides are equal, straight lines are equal to each other. So now how many equal sides are there in an equilateral triangle? It is always 3, because a triangle has 3 sides, all are equal. So equal sides are 3. So first you will write for A, answer is second, that will be 3. Coming to second part, B part. How many equilateral triangle are there in this figure? How many? One is PTS, one is your QSR, 2, one is your PQS3. So there are 3 equilateral triangles. So where is the answer? Answer is third part. This will be 3. Now part C, which statement is incorrect? Again take care, it will be incorrect, not correct. T is equal to R. Angle T is equal to R. Yes, it is correct, because in a equilateral triangles, angles are 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. All the angles are 60 degree. So T is equal to R. That is also correct. QPT, QPT, this angle is 120 degree given. Yes, this is also correct. This is correct. This is correct. It is a scalene triangle. Is there any scalene triangle here where two sides are equal and rest is not equal? No, it is no scalene triangle. So this is your incorrect statement. So you'll write C is equal to your third part. It has scalene triangle, which is incorrect. Fourth part, name the axiom by which PTS QRS are not congruent. SAS, side angle side, it is congruent. SSS congruent because sides are equal to each other, all the sides are equal to each other. One included angle is also equal 60 60. Two sides equal, we can write, and included angle is equal. So SAS is applied here. Similarly, all the three sides of all the triangles are equal. So SSS is also applied. What is not applied? RHS is not applied. Why? There is no right triangle. So what is the answer? This is your not the conditions of the congruency for your PTS and QRS. PTS and QRS, I am going again to this question. PQ, because this is geometry, you should understand first very clearly. PTS SAS is applicable. Why? These two sides are equal. This is also equal. And this included angle is also equal because 60 60. So we are applying SAS congruency for these two. Next is your SSS. These are both equilateral triangles, so sides are equal. It is given already. PS is equal to SQ, PS is equal to PT. It was given, and QS was given to QR. And for this condition, PQS is also a equilateral triangle. So these three are equal to each other. So PS equal to PT, QS equal to QR. So PT is equal to QR, PT is equal to TS, so SQ is equal to QR. So all the, if it has the side XXX, it has also side XXX. So SSS is also applied. SAS is also applied because this included angle is 60 degrees, 60 degree. What is not applied? RHS is not applied because neither of these two triangle has 90 degree. Not right triangle. So I'll write D is equal to third your RHS. Now coming to part E. PT is equal to 2x plus 1. PT is equal to, so I hope you have written. I'm rubbing this unnecessary things here because I have to do the B part again. Sorry, E part. What is E part? E part is your PT is equal to 2x plus 1. And QR is equal to 3 minus 2y. And you know that these two are equal. So I'm writing, I'll find a relation between x and y. So 2x plus 1 is equal to 3 minus 2y. 2x plus 1 is equal to 3 minus 2y. So what will do? I'll take your x and y to one side. So 2y will be positive and I'll take the 1 to right side. So it will be 3 minus 1, that will be 2. So 2x plus 2y is equal to 2. And dividing throughout by 2, I'll get x plus y is equal to 1. Now you identify where the solution is. The solution is in your 1. Find the relation between x and y. So the answer E is 1. That will be x plus y is equal to 1. I hope you have understood. फिर से थोड़ा बता रही हूँ. पहले दिया था कि पी टी पी एस टी एस इक्वल है. फिर दिया था कि क्यू एस एस आर और क्यू आर ये भी तीनों इक्वल है. फिर दिया है कि पी क्यू एस ए इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल. तो ये जितना है पी एस उतना ही है, क्यू एस उतना ही है. फिर पी एस जो है ये पी टी के साथ इक्वल है. तो ये एक इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल बन गया. इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल बनने से ये एंगल 60 डिग्री हो गया. सिमिलरली ये क्यू एस क्यू आर के साथ इक्वल है. सो ये पी टी के साथ भी इक्वल हो गया. तो सारा जो छोटे छोटे सेक्शन दिख रहे हैं ये सब आपस में इक्वल है. तो हमको यहाँ 3 इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल मिल रहा है. इक्विलेटरल ट्राइंगल क्या होता है? जिसका तीनों साइड्स इक्वल होता है. जब तीनों साइड्स इक्वल होता है, अभी पूछा है पहले वाला पूछा इक्विलेटरल ट्रायंगल में कितना साइड्स होता है ना? 3 होता है. कितना इक्विलेटरल ट्रायंगल देख पा रहे हो ना? 3 ही देख पा रहे हैं. फिर बोल रहा है इसमें से कौन सा करेक्ट नहीं है. तो टी एंगल जो है वो भी 60 है. सी पार्ट में मैं आ रही हूँ. आर एंगल भी 60 डिग्री है. तो ये दोनों इक्वल है, ये इनकरेक्ट नहीं है. क्यू पी टी ये 120 डिग्री होगा क्योंकि 60 और 60 मिला के 120 डिग्री. तो ये भी करेक्ट है. अभी आएंगे थर्ड में. बोला ये स्केलिन है. स्केलिन क्या होता है? जो जिसमें 2 साइड्स इक्वल है. इसका कोई 2 साइड्स इक्वल नहीं है. और फोर्थ पार्ट में दिया है पी टी इज इक्वल टू क्यू एस. पी टी इज इक्वल टू क्यू एस, ये भी करेक्ट है. तो ओनली इनकरेक्ट कौन है? ये स्केलिन ट्राइंगल नहीं है. फिर दिया है ये किसके हिसाब से कॉन्ग्रुएंट है. तो पहले तीनों साइड इक्वल है, तीनों साइड का. ये ट्राइंगल और ये ट्राइंगल में पूछा है. तो इसमें तीनों साइड के साथ इक्वल है. सो एस 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 हो गया. फिर 2 साइड और एक एंगल हम इक्वल दिखा सकते हैं क्योंकि एंगल 60 डिग्री है. 60 डिग्री और साइड इक्वल है. तो ये एस एस भी हो सकता है. तो क्या नहीं होता है ना? आर एच एस नहीं हो सकता है. क्यों ना? यहाँ राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल ये नहीं है. लास्ट में हो रहा है अगर पी टी क्यू आर के साथ इक्वल है, हम प्रूव कर चुके हैं, और उनका लेंथ दिया हुआ है एक का 2x + 1, एक का 3 - 2y. तो इसमें एक रिलेशन बना. तो हमने पहले इक्वल लिख दिया. फिर एक साइड में एक्स वाई को ले लिया. तो फिर ऐसा इक्वेशन मिला जो आंसर में नहीं है. तो हम क्या करेंगे? इसको एक्स वाई और नंबर से सबसे में हम 2 से डिवाइड कर देंगे सबसे. तो यहाँ x मिला, यहाँ y मिला, यहाँ 1 मिला. मुझे लगता है अभी समझ में आया. क्वेश्चन नंबर 20. क्वेश्चन नंबर 20 मेंसुरेशन का है. Mathematics teacher of a school took her 9th standard students to show Gol Gumbaz. It is a part of their educational trip. The teacher had interest in history as well. She narrated the fact of Gol Gumbaz to the students. Gol Gumbaz is the tomb of King Muhammad Adil Shah. Adil Shah dynasty. Construction of the tomb, located in Vijaypura, Karnataka, India, was started in 1626 and completed in 1656. It took 30 years to make. It reaches up to 51 meter high. So this is, you have to take care or note. While the giant dome has a external diameter of 44 meter. डूम मतलब ये एक हेमिस्फीयर है. फिगर में जैसे दिख रहा है. तो हेमिस्फीयर में उसका डायमीटर 44 मीटर है, मेकिंग इट वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट डोम्स एवर बिल्ट. एट ईच ऑफ द 4 corners of the front of the cube is the dome-shaped octagonal tower 7 stories high with a staircase inside. Now, with this information, you have to answer the question, what is the total surface of area of a cuboid? LBBHHL twice LBBHHL twice LB plus BH, L square plus B square plus H square. So for this part of question, you need the formula. So as I earlier said, write all the formula in a piece of paper and keep in your mobile as your wallpaper. So whenever we will open, it will come to your eyes and you can remember very easily. B is, what is the curved surface area of hemispherical dome? What is the height of the cuboidal part? Options are given. I am not reading the question. 908 pi, 968 pi, 340 pi, 780 pi. That means no need of putting pi. And for part C, it is 14 meter, 7 meter, 29 meter, 18 meter. What is the circumference of the base of the dome? 34 pi, 22 pi, 44 pi, 55 pi. The total surface area of a hemispherical dome having radius 7 centimeter including base is 462 centimeter square, 294 centimeter square, 588 centimeter square, 154 centimeter square. If needed, you can read question again and you can note the part. Suppose it was made in 1626 and completed 1656. We are not noting this for particular question. It is not needed. You have to note the height of the solid figure and height of the hemisphere or whatever will be given. So coming to the part 1. I hope you are reading yourself. What is the total surface area of a cuboid? Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this will be the answer. I'll request you to please remember this answers very correctly. That means this formula. So A is your, second is the answer, 2I is LB plus BH plus LH. Done. Now B, what is the curved surface area of a hemispherical dome? So curved surface area of the hemisphere is your, 2 pi r square. Since the answer is given in pi, so no need of writing pi as 22 by 7. Next we'll go for r. Where is r? This diameter is given to 44. So from here I'll write the radius. What will the radius? Radius is equal to your 44 by 2. R is equal to 44 by 2. That will be 22. Now curved surface area is equal to 2 pi r square. So this will be 2 into pi into r square will be how much? 22 square. 22 square is your 484 into 2 pi. So that will be 968. It will multiply 968 pi meter square. You can check the multiplication. I think second part is the answer. So for B, second is the answer. 4968 pi meter square. Coming to part C, what is the height of the cuboidal part? Okay, so this is what is 51 meter. 51 meter is your, this cuboid, I'm drawing the figure, cuboid and the hemisphere. This cuboid and the hemisphere. The total is your 51. And what is the hemisphere part? This radius is how much? We have got it. How much? It is 22. So 22 is the hemisphere part and total is 51. So what will be height of cuboidal part? It will be 51 minus 22. So for C part, I am rubbing it to get the answer or to get the space to do it. Now coming to C, the cuboid height plus this hemisphere, total is your 51 and your hemisphere as radius is 22. This will be also 22. So height of the cuboidal part will be 51 minus 22. So what is the answer? 29 meter is the answer. So for C, your 3 is the answer. Now coming to fourth one. What is the circumference of the base of the dome? Circumference means this is base of the dome is, it is a hemisphere and its base is always a circle. So what is the circumference? It will be 2 pi r. 2 pi r. What is r? It will be 22. So how much it will be? It will be 44 pi. Because diameter was given 24. So radius is equal to how much? 24 divided by r is equal to 20, 44 divided by 2. That will be 22. So I put here. So what is the D? D answer is 3 is the answer. Now coming to E. So first one answer was this. Second, let me check again. The curved surface area of the hemisphere dome was 968. So we applied the formula 2 pi r square. 2 pi r is 22 square. Then this cuboidal part height I got 51 minus 22. Coming to last part, the total surface area of hemisphere dome having radius 7 centimeter. Now the question is not related to this. Another question whose radius is 7. You have to find your total surface area including the base. Total surface area including the base means if this is a hemisphere, the base is pi r square and this curved surface area is equal to 2 pi r square. So total surface area will be 3 pi r square. You can remember as the formula. Total surface area of a hemisphere is 3 pi r square. So it will be 3 into your 22 by 7. Here pi is not, answer is not given as pi. So I'll multiply 22 by 7. 7 into 7. So you can cancel 1, you multiply, how much will get? 21 into 22. So 21 into 2, 3, 21 into 22. How much it will be answer? Answer will be 462. So 462 centimeters square. So 4, this will be the answer. So fifth part for D, for E, it will be your, this is E, not written. The fifth part is the first is the answer. 462. So I hope you have followed. If still any doubt is left, any question you want to discuss, any questions you are not able to answer, solve, please write in comment section. Or if any more clarification you need for this question, for more clarification also, I will be happy. So thank you for subscribing the channel, and please subscribe if you have not done it.